look into basketball. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought about today's video. And as I always like to preface by saying, I am not a basketball expert. I'm just a fan who's naturally obsessed. And in today's video, I kind of want to touch on what is going on in Utah right now with the Utah Jazz. So the last couple of years have been very shaky in Utah. Great, phenomenal in some instances, regular seasons, but they've built kind of a reputation as a team that is not built for postseason success. And you can make some arguments as to why, given the right matchup, they could contend for championships. I can understand certain arguments against that, but with what we have seen and the no doubt deficiencies in the Utah Jazz's game, it's not a team that's built for postseason success right now. I'm sorry to Utah Jazz fans, but I mean, it's the truth. What do we have to go off of in recent years other than Donovan Mitchell? And even that, no disrespect, love the Spider, love him, love Donovan Mitchell. He's a star in this league, no doubt about it. But this postseason, granted he was asked to carry a significant load all year long, and he looked physically worn out in this playoff series against the Dallas Mavericks. I do not look down on Donovan Mitchell for what happened in the postseason, but outside of that, you don't have much. It's just a fact. I like the bench pieces quite a bit. I think they have a solid bench, not really a good defensive bench, but really good offensive scoring off the bench. But this is just becoming a reality. I don't want to say it's a fact because there are circumstances where a narrative over a star or stars can change over time. There are plenty of duos that were look at this year in the NBA Finals. About halfway through the season, the Boston Celtics, it was a fact in the national media's eyes and in a lot of you fans watching that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum do not complement each other. It's not going to work. They're in the NBA Finals now playing great basketball. It can change, but the difference between those two and Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert is we've seen signs of greatness between the two of them. And it was very inconsistent. Granted, I'll give you that. There's a reason why it took them this many years to finally break through. But with Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, I personally, and I've watched a lot of Utah Jazz basketball because I'm such a big Donovan Mitchell fan. So I don't think I necessarily am giving the best analysis that maybe someone who only watches Utah Jazz games can give. But just my analysis from how much I've watched, which is a lot, I've never seen great between the two of them. I've seen very, very good, not great though. They don't complement each other's games, in my opinion. It's very hard to have a star, your number one option in Donovan Mitchell, and his complementary piece is, granted, probably the best defensive center in basketball with significant offensive liabilities. That's just fact. Rudy Gobert has significant offensive liabilities, and because of that, it puts significant limitations on how well he can complement Donovan Mitchell. And on top of that, outside of players, Quin Snyder's future is being questioned. I don't want to say doubted because he hasn't come out and said anything. Management hasn't come out and said anything. But there's a reason why these rumors of him potentially leaving the Jazz are becoming so widespread. And they're credible sources that are reporting this. It's not like in a fan chat or something like that. Oh, I heard. Who'd you hear it from? Oh, just people I know. Like it's very well known media that are reporting this. So what am I getting at is I think significant changes are on the horizon for Utah. I don't want to say this year necessarily. I think there's going to be some big time talks about making some moves, making some drastic decisions, because let's just be real. If you have to pick between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, and why would you have to pick? There's some tension. Make no mistake about it. They're both being professional, so props to them for that. They're saying the right things to the media. But the last several years in these playoff exits, you can see the tension, you can see the frustration, and I think it's only a matter of time before one of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to pull the I want to be traded, or they're going to give the ultimatum, he goes or I go. And if you're the Utah Jazz in that situation and you have to choose, you would be a damn fool to choose Rudy Gobert over Donovan Mitchell unless Donovan Mitchell flat out says, I don't want to be here anymore and there's nothing you can do to change my mind. Then the decision's been made. The decision's been made, because I truly do believe, I could be wrong, this is just my opinion, but I truly do believe if Donovan Mitchell asks his way out, that Rudy Gobert would want to stay. He loves Utah. I don't want to say he loves the current state of affairs in Utah, but he does love Utah. And I'm sure Donovan Mitchell does too. I'm sure he does too, but Donovan Mitchell, he knows what his status in this league is. And again, he's a star. I wouldn't say Donovan Mitchell's a superstar by any means. I think he has been very close on a couple different occasions of entering that tier of superstar. But like I was talking about in my recent video about Pascal Siakam, I don't think he's a superstar, but I think he's a high-end star. Very high-end star on the threshold of crossing over to the next tier. I feel the same way about Donovan Mitchell. So, that being said, I don't think, in the reality of the situation, I don't think that Utah is in a position where they want to or feel like they need to blow the whole thing up. I don't think so. But I do think they're getting very, very close to being in a situation where they have to make a significant move. Because the thing about the Utah Jazz right now is they're in arguably, very arguably here, but my opinion, if I'm a basketball team, the worst position I feel like you can be in is good. I would rather be terrible than be good. I would rather be great, obviously, than good. And why do I say it like that? Because the way the NBA is set up, being good, being in mediocrity, could potentially prolong you from getting better and taking steps forward. And in all reality, you stay here too long, it's inevitable that you're going to start going backwards. Because you're not bad enough to where you're going to get good draft capital. You're not good enough to where you're necessarily attracting stars to come and join you. So they're in arguably the worst position to be in the NBA. And if Donovan Mitchell was to ask to go, there's a number of teams that have been linked to him. I read a report yesterday about the Miami Heat offering a potential trade package that might include Tyler Hero. I think, depending on what else is included, that could be a potential good package for Donovan Mitchell. I've read the New York Knicks. I've read the Lakers, but I'm telling you right now, there's no way in hell that the Lakers is going to happen because, one, I'm not convinced that the Lakers would want Donovan Mitchell, and two, there's no way in hell that the Jazz are going to accept Russell Westbrook and maybe a couple draft picks way in the future for Donovan Mitchell. It's not going to happen. So And same thing with Rudy Gobert. He's been linked heavily to the Mavericks all year long, but those talks in the offseason have kind of slowed down. So who knows what his market is right now. And Quin Snyder, realistically right now, most of the coaching vacancies have been filled. If he decides he wants to leave the Jazz, it's to take maybe a year off, a couple years off of coaching. And I don't think he's in a position to do that because, quite frankly, I am a Quin Snyder fan. Do I have some criticism of it? Absolutely. There's some things I don't like, but there's more I like than what I don't like. I put him in a very similar category to Doc Rivers, where I know he's a good coach. Plenty of holes to pick, plenty of critiques I can make, but I know he's a good coach. There's a reason why Doc Rivers keeps getting jobs in the NBA when he gets fired. Because it's known he's a good coach. And Quin Snyder, I guarantee you 80% of the league right now would probably, I don't want to say that, I'm saying that, and that's 70% of the league right now would pick Quin Snyder over their current head coach. He's that well respected. So, long story short, point of this video, I kind of want to know what you guys think of this whole situation, because nothing's set yet. Like I said in the beginning, nothing has been said by any of these three people, but if you look at just what we do know, it's enough for us to question what's going on and to wonder, are moves coming? So let me know what you guys think, please. I'd really love to know where you guys are at, and I appreciate you guys watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought about today's video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, guys.